part of the special elections. So I guess that's the reason why people should vote for me, because I'm very willing and I already have plans. Like, I'm very willing, I already have plans, and I was able to consult naman with the current externals people. So I know the problems, I know their problems, and that's what I'm trying to fix.
My next question is for Jasper Ang. What if we have an affix card next for the next academic year? How about your plans for the CSA card?
I think that if there's already going to be an affix card, then it would be fun-wise to have a CSA card. It was just a proposal that if ever, like, there's no affix card, then maybe we could start marketing a new mem card for CSA to get like sponsors and then have certificates for CSA.
My next question is for John. The decision to accept or decline a partnership must also go through the executive committee. Will you prioritize team or committee decisions over execom decisions?
Actually, there should be a balance of both. Because, syempre, there are times when the execom can't really outweigh, properly check out the partnership. Because yung externals committee, yung that specific part, in terms of partnership under CAT, Campus Affairs. So that's their specific function. That's what they're trained to do. So syempre, they should know more about it. But so I do value their opinion, and I will value their opinion. However, syempre, the executive committee is also their opinion is also valuable kasi they're the executive committee. So answering your question, who should I value more? I think there should be a balance between both. And if split yung decision, then we have to talk about it. We have to have a meeting about it, and we have to come to a consensus whether we should accept or decline this certain partnership.
Okay. My next questions are for the candidates for Cultural and Social Affairs and Research and Academics Committee chairpersons. So both of you are new members, but you are running for a position where your first committee is. So given that, why should CSA trust you with the position, and have you looked at the previous GPOAs of the different predecessors?
So for me, I think CSA should vote for me because I've been to a lot of my own committee's events as well. So I could see what I could improve on as well, especially for prod, since a lot of prod meetings, there's like not a lot of people who go. I think I could try to improve or impose something to make people to go as well. I think they should also vote for me because, well, for me, because I think I'm reliable naman in a way because I'm always there, or I'm really easy to contact, and I think I was able to provide enough resources naman this last sem and this sem to be able to say na I'm capable of the job. So,
have you looked and evaluated the previous GPOAs of your different predecessors?
I've only looked through the chairperson this year. And I think when I saw the Vinel's GPOA, not all of the plans there were actually final, and some of them weren't really that seen. Which is what I patterned also to my GPOA. It's not final. Because I value feedback, and for feedback from my team or like who's up next year. So I'm still open to suggestions as well.
So for the first question, I think I'm more than capable, and I think members could see that through my work. For the second question, yes, I have looked at my predecessors, GPOA, and looking through it, I saw a lot of good points, and I think they were all executed well, and that's why I'm running for continuity, but then also I'm going to try to add sustainability and accessibility.
My next question is specifically for Zach. So a lot of the candidates here mentioned collaborations between committees in both their GPOAs and their speeches. You also mentioned Cool Week and Convergence being partnered up. So do you think that Convergence should remain under the Research and Academics Committee, or should the Cultural and Social Affairs Committee take over as the primary committee in charge?
For me, the more people involved would have more ideas, like also collaborating. So I think collaboration would be better because if more people are involved, there are more ideas coming in and coming out. And Cool Week is already something that's very hard to manage itself, or it's also big. And if Coolsoft takes in everything, it might be too much. So for now, I think collaboration would be the best approach because it did not come from Coolsoft itself; it came from ACAS. So I think collaboration would be better for now.
Yeah. I think it would also be better if we would be able to collaborate with Excel. Because the primary goal of Convergence is to actually promote Chinese Filipino culture. And seeing the events, most attendees are from CSA. So I think it would be better if more non-members would be able to.
My next question is for the candidate for AFIC's main representative. Okay, so I have worked with you in the past as your acting chairperson, and I noticed that you have a problem with keeping those above and below you in the loop of what you are doing. It is also difficult to contact you. Given this, how can you assure CSA that you will perform or deliver as main representative?
Well, a lot of things have changed since then, and my communications means have been improved, I can say. And now I reside in a UP dorm, so I'm just there. So I would say that I have taken the appropriate steps to allow myself to be more in the loop and easier to contact, and easier for me to contact other people if needed. So yeah, I think I have made appropriate steps. I've taken appropriate steps to avoid those issues.
What is the current status of CSA's OICA grant?
The OICA grant, the last time I checked, they were still having that problem with getting their reimbursement from the chancellor's level, because what happened before was when we changed the itemization of the grant, it had to go through another approval, and that's what took them more time. Actually, even I've been really frustrated with how long it's been taking. And last time I checked earlier this month, they still haven't received any notice from what's happened, because the last thing that happened was that there was a change in the leadership on their end as well. That's why the approval was slow.
Follow-up question for that. When can I expect to receive my reimbursement from last year's school week?
Yes, actually, before this year ends, I'm already ready to bring it up with the finance chairperson. If we can get the funding from them first to pay back, and then so we will basically be transferring the debt from the OIK grant under Coolsoft to Fin instead of you. So at least we can end the year without us owing anyone.
My next question is, your predecessor was part of AFICS for almost 4 years and was main representative for two consecutive terms. How will you fit into his shoes, and what would you do differently this next academic year should you be elected?
Yes. Actually, Steven, he's one of the first AFICS reps that I got to know the best out of the 8 who were in the committee when I first joined. And then I was able to attend a lot of AFICS events since my first year in UP. So I'm a bit familiar with what AFICS does. So, and since Steven became main rep the first year when it was him and Bernal, and then this current year when he is the sole main rep, I've been talking with him a lot about how it's like to be a representative for AFICS and stuff like that. So to a certain degree, I can say that he has prepared me in some sense to take on this. And what I would do differently, because like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people might have the idea that AFICS is just something on the side for CSA. So what I want is to, be a more active member in CSA as an AFICS representative as well, so that people will see that, it's more than just something on the side. So my visibility, my being active in CSA, and will allow me to actively and more obviously promote what AFIX is doing, so as to get more people to be interested in it as well.
Okay, I have some questions which I forgot to ask. John, you mentioned a while ago adding, or rather replacing our current beneficiaries with a senior citizen beneficiary. Adding, okay. So the problem with adding more beneficiaries of CSA is that our current beneficiaries already require constant contributions from the association, despite them having a lot of contributing organizations. Given this, how will you divide or add? How will you divide the effort by adding new beneficiaries?
Actually, I've talked about this with Moni. Sabi ni Moni sa akin na, Moni told me that I guess it would be better to prioritize yung elderly. Reason being, yung sinabi ko kanina na there are a lot of organizations already going for yung heart of day and gentle hands. So what we plan to do is yung parang we're still gonna do a lot of things for them, but they're not gonna be our main priority. Parang yung mga activities natin ngayon, yung mga claim making, we're still gonna do it. Parang it's not, I don't know, there won't be as much activities for those beneficiaries, and we're gonna focus more on the elderly.
How will external Spud team work with creatives?
Sorry?
How will external Spud team work with creatives?
Actually, the external books team is basically support for creating posters, for creating marketing strategies, like what I said a while ago. And essentially, that's what creatives does as well. So they can work together in making the same thing. So it lessens the load, and it makes the creation more. It makes it faster, and it makes it less hassle.
My next questions are for all the candidates. Hindi pa ako tapos, sorry. So, historically, the vice president or second in command in CSA is the chairperson of the membership committee, because the membership committee used to comprise of representatives from different committees. Given that this is no longer the case, are you open to a constitutional amendment giving the opportunity to be named vice president to another chairperson? Note that the SecGen cannot serve as a vice president at the same time. Yes or no only?
Address to all candidates now.
Yes, sir.
What's the answer?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Okay. Ay, who is answering?
For this year, agad. No. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, sige po.
Will you remain active in the
That's the
association if your opponent wins? For those who are lone candidates, if abstain wins?
Yes,
Still yes or no?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sabi niyo yan, ha? We have this on record?
We have this on record. Ano yun?
Okay. One of the more visible problems with this year's executive committee is that we had a very brief scramble for finding successors for each of our positions. Given this problem, how will you, if elected, how will you solve this problem? Or address this problem at least?
So address to?
Address to everyone.
I've said sa Jipoa ko, parang yung Mexico, they will train their directors, and yung directors in turn, they will train their committee members na under them para magkaroon ng sense of parang mentorship sa CSA. So we will have more future leaders.
As I said before, my plans of allowing directors to attend executive committee meetings, I think that would help a lot in
letting the directors know what they're actually getting into before they even think of running for the position. Also, with respect to the membership committee, as I've said, I want to have the membership committee make more decisions as a committee as a whole. So they are more, they have more say in, they have more practice in having a say in a matter.
So currently, yung kung paano pumipili, yung hindi ko alam sa ibang committees, pero sa SEC, so far, on every year, yung pagpili ng directors, depende siya sa parang personal choice ng head. So, ang bala ko, talagang based on dun sa application, based on qualification nung taong gustong maging director. Kasi, yung mga pagpipilian ko for the next section, kung ako man manalo, yung directors ko, kasi sila yung nag-step up, sila yung alam ko kaya ng responsibility na, yun, na trabaho. So, syempre sila una yung tatanungin ko, yung mga directors, tapos kung wala, edi mag-meeting kami ng committee, tapos siguro pagpuputukan namin sino yung deserving na maging section, or at least yung tumakbo. Or kung ako man manalo, siguro.
So, ako naman, kung manalo ko as SecGen, syempre, nandun na nakasunod actually si Jupowa ko kung ano yung plano ko para sa susunod na magiging SecGen. And as kapag nanalo nga ako, hindi ko lang ililid yung sec, hindi lang ako gagawa ng trabaho, kundi ititrain ko rin yung mga under me, ititrain ko lahat sila para malaman nila kung ano talaga yung mga pagdadaanan as a SecGen. And syempre magtutulungan rin kami and i-guide ko sila kung ano yung, parang ititrain ko na sila kung ano talaga yung gagawin nila para maging susunod na SecGen.
For me, I believe that it will take like the collaboration of the membership evaluation of Abby's GPOA and also her key performance indicators, as well as Shira's mentorship program, in order to help train our directors to be able to step up to be the next execom. And in my GPOA, I also listed that there would be certain deputies for the certain subcommittees of PIN, which would help assist the directors. So there would be a sort of support system for the whole finance committee, and I believe that this will help train the directors